Well, greetings and salutations, everyone. I hope everyone is doing well today. Today I have a very informative and fun upload to share with you. Before we get into it, a couple links. As you know, I rely on Patreon, PayPal, and my merch to help the channel to continue to grow and go. The links to Patreon and PayPal are in the description below. My merch displayed directly under the video. Also, Dogman Frightening Encounters Volume 1, 2, and 3. The audiobook versions. They were written and researched by Tom Lyons, narrated and produced by me, Jeffrey Nadolny. Those audiobooks are available on Audible, Amazon, and iTunes, the links to which are also in the description as well. Now, everyone, I have taken far too much of your time. Let's get into today's upload. Shall we? All right, guys, weather has cleared up in upstate New York, and I decided to come back to the cemetery where my daughter had her Dogman encounter with her friends. The cemetery is absolutely huge. I thought it was around 14 acres, but I did more research, and this winter it's 25 acres. There is a stream, 2 ponds, multiple gravestones, hence it being a cemetery, a patch of forest that's like 2.5 to 3 acres that was bigger, but they had not, as people passed, they clear cut it, and this is where I am right now. Is only 2 miles from the foothills of the Adirondack State Park, and it's got a lot of history here. Also, there's like I think there's three sarcophaguses, that are just gigantic, built into the side of a hill. I'll probably say it wrong, but a couple obuluses. It's pretty crazy. It's a creepy cemetery. Survivor of the Titanic is buried here, and our own witch, Abigail West, is buried here, which I will later on during the year, I'm going to do a video about her. She was buried on West Mountain, and then they dug that grave up to bury her with her family, and there was no body, so they just have an empty grave here of her. But I want to get out and kind of look around a little now that there is no snow and that it is not 15 degrees out. So let's check this out. So we are above where my daughter and her friends had their encounter. This place is absolutely gigantic. I'll give you guys a kind of a panorama of it in a minute. But yeah, so it's pretty insane here. Let me switch angles and we can look at this. So, as I said, we are up above where she had her encounter. She had her encounter over there. This place is just absolutely gigantic. Like, it just goes on and on for a very long period of time. And like I said, there's old graves here. This isn't even the oldest. These don't even have dates on them. Actually, they're right there on it. 1925 to 48, 29 to 58. Wow. Alright, so that is where, wow, actually, I just realized something, guys. We're going to go down where she had her encounter and check this out, because well, if you guys can see what I'm seeing right there, and that is where she had her encounter. There's the pond. Just beyond that is some streams. I mean, this is just... it just goes on, guys. It just goes on. So we came down to the location where my daughter Abigail and her friends had their encounter. This is huge. It's unbelievably big. I've only been here a couple times, but I'm really now starting to see how and why there was something here. I'm going to switch the angle again so you guys can get my perspective. Alright, so we've got a stream. This is where they had their encounter. They were sitting down here doing their whatnot, hanging out, being kids, and over in that area they saw this huge Dogman run through. My daughter, my oldest daughter, called it a skinwalker because there's the pond. Obviously it's a huge cemetery if there's just a tire thrown, and you know, I mean, but this is right here. They were sitting here. I mean, it's a beautiful location. And they saw this creature. It was a moonlit night, and they saw it. Now, they do hear howling over in here. Whoa, what is that? Huh. We're right to the water. I'm not going to make speculation, but who knows, right? Excuse me. So that's where I was, up there. There's that gate. Right there. Some old stairs. Wow. This is prime Dogman. Like I said, prime Dogman location. Like I said, this is only 2 miles from the foothills of the Adirondacks. I mean, and when I see 2 miles, I don't mean roads. Yeah, there's roads, but there is forest, woods going into the forest. Now, I guess I'll give you guys the gist of the Abigail West. That is an odd track. I don't see any more. Excuse me. So Abigail West was married to, I don't remember her husband's name. He was very wealthy. They owned the mountain up here, ski mountain, and they had this huge house on the mountain, and she was caught, I believe, in a lightning storm. Sorry, my throat is driving me insane today. She was caught in a lightning storm, and I guess she had gotten electrocuted. Lightning struck her, and they supposedly buried her on the mountain. And when the husband passed away, whoa, whew, holy jump scare. Ha, ducks. So when the husband and everyone passed away, they went and dug all the graves up. Well, they then did not find her. She was not there. Here's another part. This is how big this is, guys. Like, look at that. There's these ducks. Huh. So, and they didn't find her, or her head was missing. That was, and then they buried her in, or they didn't bury her, excuse me. Her body wasn't there, so they couldn't bury her. Oh my God, that gave me the biggest jump scare. I don't know if you heard the woods bust out like that, but whew, thank God. Wow. So this is it. This is a cemetery that is haunted, that has Dogman sightings. Now I have the hiccups. Throat's bothering me and the hiccups. So this is a great video. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah. This is truly, I mean, look how you've got the pond right here. And then you've got another pond, and it goes back far. Look at that dog just standing there. That's so beautiful. You know, growing up here, you never realize how beautiful the area is that you live in until you're older, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, that is the gist. So there's been these weird howling, these weird just noises, screeching, and that's why I think my daughter Abigail calls it a skinwalker. But and I've explained to her numerous times that it's not a skinwalker. But no matter what, you know how kids are. You say it's blue, they'll say it's green. Go figure. So now we are coming back into somewhat of civilization. This is so awesome. Anyway, I'm gonna come out here at night and do a video and set up. I'm gonna set up right over there. Let's switch angles again. So my plan is to set up over there and see what we can get. I'm using my old camera holder now. I just upgraded my studio a little bit and got some different equipment to do some really good recordings for you guys. Do a lot of on the scene stuff. I'm gonna go to, like I said, I'm going up to Horkin. This weekend is supposed to be really nice, so I might take a ride up there because I Google mapped it, Google Satted it, and really scrolled in and found some interesting stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm finding there's just a lot of, it's creepy here, but I'm gonna walk over here and see if there's any tracks. Is that weird? That's a weird track, but there's nothing else except that track. So, I mean, I'm not gonna say, hey, that's Dogman. But what in the hell is that? This is where they had their sighting. So, and this ground is ripped up. Right here is perfect area for one to hide and reside. Ooh, look at that little window. Man, hope I don't see a person looking back at me. Would that be freaking crazy, wouldn't it? Jump scare from the ducks and then a person staring back at me. Alright. Well, so here's the plan. I'm going to do the video here. I'm going to do the Horkin video. I'm going to Whitehall, New York to do where the sheriff of Whitehall, Washington County Sheriff actually, and State Trooper of New York had a Sasquatch encounter in the 70s. And I'm going to do a brief history of cryptids or Dogman and Bigfoot in the Adirondacks. So spring is here. This is the plan. This is so beautiful. Perfect place for a Dogman. Perfect place for anything to reside. Man, I'd hang out here all day. Alright, so neat. I love that gate up there. That is so cool. Alright, guys. This is it. No snow and I'm not freezing, so. When I state that I am from New York, many people automatically put into their heads the city, the concrete jungle. They don't think about farmland. They don't think about one of the largest state parks in the country, the Adirondacks, which I live right at the foothills of, and I have grown up in the Adirondacks my entire life. Now, this park is special. It is very special, and it is very, very, what's the word? I don't want to say paranormal, but I guess that's the word I have to use. It is a park associated with cryptids, with UFO, with missing person, with military projects gone bad, Dogman, Sasquatch, and more. The great champ. cousins to the Loch Ness Monster. Now, the word Adirondacks means bark eater in Iroquois. And it may have been a term for the Algonquin, kind of like a derogatory or less than term. Now, during these wars between the Iroquois and the Algonquin would discuss this creature called the Wendigo that just roamed the woods. It is said to resemble an emaciated man or a large, hairy, cannibalistic monster. It doesn't have antlers. It doesn't look like a deer. It doesn't look like anything creepypastas or mainstream movies or Reddit community thinks it looks like. Or it resembles the wind. Very swift and devious. Now the Iroquois, they had a creature just as dangerous. A flesh-eating stone giant. Used rocks as weapons, and they were just abnormally huge. Capable of uprooting trees and whatnot. These are just a few of the monsters, the creatures that these natives to New York believed. Terrifying. The Wendigo was said to have this howl that kind of reverberated like that of a grouse drumming on its breastplate or whatever. Actually, the Aquasachie Reservation is land of drumming partridge, or I believe that's the official name, Americanized name of the Aquasachie. Now, these creatures were seen by white men when they came over. They were seen by a lot of settlers, fur trappers, and whatnot. The area I grew up in is not new to these creatures. So for one to possibly live in the cemetery is not at all strange to me. There are so many other different little locations that there's a Boy Scout camp called Camp Wackbomany. And growing up there, we told a story of the creature called the Hairy H-Man. It was this abnormally large, hairy kind of creature that roamed the woods around our camp and the iron ore mines around our camp. Terrifying tales to tell at a Boy Scout camp. But nonetheless, they weren't just told by Boy Scouts. They were told by the old timers back then, even before I was there. People talked about that creature, that monster, in the 30s and 40s. There have been numerous just accounts, recent police officers seeing creatures. Now that it's getting super nice out, I am going to start exploring the areas that these cursed creatures roam and reside after I do kind of a night video over at the haunted cemetery. I'm going to go to another cemetery, a cemetery right across the street from Camp Pomini, the cemetery that is said to house or where the Harry H. Man resides. We'll see. Dogmen are the same. Many people have seen dogmen. Subscriber had seen one on Mount Marcy, which is deep in the Adirondacks. It's the highest peak in the Adirondacks at that. So this subscriber saw this dogman on Mount Marcy. He also, after being in the military, saw a dogman outside of the Adirondacks, but still in a wooded farming community. My dogman encounter was, well, in a wooded farmland community in the Adirondacks. So my plan is this. I am going to investigate everything that I have been, but I'm going to start digging into encounters that are around my area and the surrounding states. Like I said, I've got a very, very interesting interview with a man who has studied the Jersey Devil for a very long time. When he first was introduced to the channel, he never had heard of Dogman. I reached out to him to talk to him about the Jersey Devil. The conversation after followed this. Jeff, could it be possible that what people are seeing in the Pine Barrens, instead of being the Jersey Devil, is a dogman? Similar features, very tall, muzzle. And then I said, but Dogman doesn't fly. And then his response was, but Dogman jumps. Mistaken identity. Pretty crazy. I mean, this gentleman has been studying and venturing out into the Pine Barrens for years, and he's now thinking possibly misidentification. Wow. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for all of your support. I would like to really, really just express my gratitude to you guys. You have made this channel something that I never thought it would be. So thank you. You have given me hope. With that, may the Great Spirit watch over us, and may He guide us down that path that we call life.